Let me tell you how. If I was Satan, I would rejoice in him, being the prince of darkness. And I want to engulf the whole world in darkness. And I would have a third of its real estate and have 4/5 of the population. But I would not be happy until I seize the ripest apple on the tree that's taking your babies. If I was Satan, I would rejoice in how it's necessary to take over the United States and divert the churches first. And I would begin with the campaign of a whisper, with the wisdom of the serpent. As I whispered to you, as I whispered to you, do you please? If I was Satan, I would rejoice in the young, and I would whisper that the Bible is a myth. And I would whisper that man created God instead of the other way around. And what is bad is good, and what is good is square. And I would have the old to pray after me. Our Father, which are in Washington, D.C. And I would get organized and I would educate authors to make lore literature exciting. And anything else would appear dull and uninteresting. Then I would threaten TV with dirtier movies and have men presenting themselves in dresses as a way of being common. If I was Satan, I would rejoice in peddling narcotics to whom I could. And I would sell alcohol to ladies and gentlemen of distinction. Then I would tranquilize the rest with marijuana, pills, and needles of crack cocaine. If I was Satan, I would rejoice in families at war with themselves, churches at war with themselves, nations at war with themselves. And to each of this term was consumed with the promise of high ratings to have mesmerizing media fanning the flames. If I was Satan, I would rejoice in encouraging young intellect, but neglect discipline and emotions and just let them run wild. And before you know it, there'll be drug-sniffing dogs and metal detectors at every door in the schoolhouse. If I was Satan, I would rejoice in telling little children it is normal to have sex, get birth control, and it's okay to abort, get rid of your babies. But shh, this is our secret. If I was Satan, I would rejoice in within a decade. I would have prisons overflowing, judges promoting pornography. Then I would evict God from the courthouse, evict God from the schoolhouse, evict God from the House of Congress. Then I would evict God from his own churches. Then I would substitute psychology for religion and deify science. And I would lower priests, pastors, and bishops to misusing little boys and girls and church money. If I was Satan, I would rejoice in making Easter an egg and the symbol of Christmas a bottle, and bring circular music into churches to become part of regular service. If I was Satan, I would rejoice in taking from those who have, giving to those who want it, until I kill the incentive of the ambitious. Place your bet. What do you bet? I could get the whole states and all states to promote gambling. Getting lotto tickets is a way of getting rich. And I would caution against extreme hard work, patriotism, and moral conduct. If I was Satan, I would rejoice in convincing everyone that marriage is old-fashioned. Swinging is more fun. And for what you see on TV, it's a way to be. If I could undress you in public and lower you into my bed with diseases where there is no cure. If I was Satan, I would rejoice in men marrying men, women marrying women. And to our children, it's okay to choose your own identity. If I was Satan, I would rejoice in women taking the role of a man in the household and men becoming more and more feminine, saying, it's okay, I stay at home, raise the kids, and be the house husband. If I was Satan, I will rejoice in the world giving birth to artificial intelligence. This is a way of life that people don't think or have to write for themselves anymore. All they got to do is say it, and the perfect resume, the perfect story, and the perfect essay is all at your fingertips. And people can vanish away that white-collar jobs and most blue-collar jobs by going to any store that they please, doing self-checkout to actually do away with cashiers making honest days living. However, if I was Satan, I would just keep on doing what he's doing as he is dancing. Don't sit at the table that Jesus